Amazon is the tried and true way of shopping for anything you need or want at the lowest prices. Support the channel at no cost to you by doing your Amazon shopping through the link in the video description. Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a Revenant deck and guide. If you guys want to look at just the gameplay or just the deck of it featured in this video, go to the end of the video and that's where we're going to take a in-depth look at it there. So guys, in the first card that you get in this early game is Demolitionist. It just kind of helps you take down these minions if you need that help pushing. It's really not kind of the best card necessarily. It just, in this beginner friendly deck, early account friendly deck, it is a option for you here. Now, why do you pick Revenant? Because you need some unique control with his ultimate and Scar and early game harassment. It's going to actually work actually quite well if you can snowball with him and get some kills. And that's what I kind of want to do with this Revenant, with this Phase and Wraith. You kind of want to snowball and put some early game pressure, and that's exactly what I want to do with this Wraith and Phase. So when you are in the duo lane, you're may have to make sure that that you put some kills here on the enemy team here. But with a Phase and being able to do that, it's going to be a little bit tough. So you're gonna have to play uniquely safe and grab your healing Towers gem whenever you can. The first ability that you get is Scar. It's your E ability. What happens is you mark the enemy target, and when taking damage from your basic attack or your Q, your Obliterate ability, they will take extra damage and get slowed. So it's a unique ability that you can slow people down with it that are trying to run away, while also dealing that extra damage. So you used to, I would say, I would recommend you used to actually use your E ability and proc it with your Q, with your Obliterate, but now you kind of want that slow to happen over time, and that's why I'm going to recommend you use your Q for your E ability. So that's what I'm gonna suggest you do there. Try to use it for your oh goodness, and there's the snipe. I thought that's the steel was going to use his shield. The second ability you get, I would say, would be your Hellfire rounds. What happens is it enables you to reload your weapon that you only have 4 shots. You only have 4 shots in your weapon until you have to reload. And then what you do is on the 4th shot, at least with your Hellfire rounds enabled and unlocked, what happens is you deal extra damage on that 4th shot. So what you can do is something like prime your 4th shot, like I have I have primed right now, and hit your target for extra damage. Unfortunately, I missed there, and that is something you have to kind of get used to with Revenant. That is a good harassment strategy in the solo lane or in this duo lane, priming your Hellfire rounds and then hitting that last shot for some good poke damage. Is very good. I'm not necessarily doing the best job of kind of winning this lane and getting some kills, but we are certainly trying. The last ability that you get is Obliterate. What happens is you shoot out a cone of projectiles in front of you that home in on any target in front of you. Any target, it homes in on them and hits them. So you have to be careful with what is in front of you. You have to isolate a intended target in order for your projectiles to go on that target. So you have to step in front of minions, or you have to step in front of anything in order to get those projectiles going. And as you can see, really our harassment here doesn't really stick, but you can see here that there isn't actually much. Come on. Well, see, we're trying to get some harassment on here, but the steel really isn't really helping me too much here, as we need some help. from the steel with his shield to stop some of these projectiles, or just to commit and land some of these stuns. We're gonna have to see what does he do. He can't get up. Oh, there he does get him, but no, he does use Nitro Boost, unfortunately. And now the Sevarog is coming, so we're gonna have to be careful here and see what we can do. I don't have much mana. The good thing about Scar is that it doesn't actually take that much mana. 65 mana, it's okay, but it's not like something like a 90 or 100 in your 353 mana pool here at level 4. And the last ability that you unlock is, of course, your ultimate, and it's called Reckoning. Revenant shoots a projectile, and not very many people know that. You shoot a projectile towards an enemy that pulls them and yourself into the Nether Realm. I do believe it's called Nether Realm, yes. And in that realm, it's only you and your target fighting to the death. Now, what was not very clear on Revenant's release was that whether you are the only one dealing damage to that target. No, other people can deal damage to that target and control, or they can control them. One of the two. There's a couple things here that you can do, and unfortunately, the steel once again isn't here to help me take down these targets here that are overextended, and that is our option here. We need to try to make something happen, and I'm going to do this here. I'm going to maybe use my ultimate, but the steel once again can't quite make it here to help me with these kills. So it is quite frustrating here. The phase is a fantastic sustained laner to save targets and stuff like that. We need to be focusing her instead, but she is positioning very safely, which is just the tough part. So we're gonna go in here and try to do this. She's gonna root me for the snipe, and I think I'm dead. I mean, really, there's not much we're gonna be able to do. The steel's probably dead here. No, and look at that sustain. So we need some serious ganks here in this lane. Oh, so we're not going to be able to do very much unless, I mean, the steel gets a radiant healer. It's not going to go very well. Now, one very important thing about Revenant's ultimate is that you gain, it deals very marginal damage on impact, about 20 damage or so, but it roots a target for 0.5 seconds, and if you kill that target while they are in that Nether Realm, you, in fact, get bonus gold. At this level 1, it's 600 bonus gold, so you can start that snowball. That's kind of what Revenant is all about. Another very interesting thing about Revenant is that he doesn't benefit from attack speed like normal carries do. He always fires his weapon twice a second, no faster, nothing else, no faster. There's nothing really you can do about that. But what attack speed does is actually reduces the cooldown of your Hellfire rounds, how fast you reload with that weapon. So what you want in a deck is to go for as much damage as possible, as much power as possible, not necessarily any attack speed. And that is why I'm focusing on keeping Guard Piercer as much as possible. That penetration realizes the basic damage that almost all of our abilities deal. Our Obliterate is the only ability damage portion of this of his kit. So Guard Piercer is almost mandatory on Revenant. And then we'll get Deathcrawler soon as well, which does a tremendous amount of damage, but reduces your attack speed, but you don't care about that, so it works really quite well. Now, the next cards that you definitely should be getting, while trying to focus on keeping Nitro Boost as much as possible, is getting Deathcrawler. What Deathcrawler does every 5 seconds, your basic attack, your next basic attack deals 200% bonus damage. It's insane. It really is quite. It is really quite remarkable. On Revenant, it does reduce attack speed, but remember, attack speed doesn't really do much for Revenant at all. So what you can do is prime that fourth shot that already deals bonus damage through Hellfire, and Deathcrawler procs with it. So it's really is monstrous. I'm going to try to be here in this engagement. Let's proc this 4th round of ours, and let's see what we can do. Although the team, again, didn't look like they did there. So I'm going to slow this. Yeah, looks like I'm going to be dead here, and not much here we can do. And a cool fact is that you can actually use your ultimate as a escape tool, kind of like what we are doing here. If I can kill him, though, so close. If I had gotten one basic there, I would have made it, but unfortunately not. And can we please get the kill on somebody? Let's see if I can get this Severog, but no, he's going to be unfortunately able to get away. So there you guys go. Unfortunately, missing basics, don't have enough damage, and the team making some silly plays there without the rest of their team. Now the next card that we get is actually Vampiric Blade, because we don't necessarily have something like a Muriel here. We're gonna have to be really careful what exactly we do. I'm gonna alt this Revenant here to use my Vampiric Blade, and just like that, we are alive. We used our Vampiric Blade to stay alive somewhat, but looks like I'm just going to be dead. The rest of my team there wasn't really quite able to do much, and I have to retreat and get some life. So that is why we get Overflowing Feast. We don't have a phase, we don't have a Muriel, we don't have an Arbash for any sort of damage mitigation or sustain. So that's just how we gotta go. There is the full endgame deck, guys. Deathcrawler, Guard Piercer, and Vampiric Blade. Vampiric Blade has attack speed, but it has some health. Health does help us as a Revenant, but you know, that lifesteal is really where we're at. So we can duel these people in our ultimate, and you know, just try to stay more alive. Revenant is kind of the man that does the crazy things. Like he can, if there's follow-up from the rest of his team, just kind of like run straight into a group of enemies, single somebody out with his ultimate, take them down, have the rest of the team follow up. I just do like crazy stuff. So if you play Revenant well enough, there can be some, you can make some pretty crazy plays. And here is the deck, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, Revenant, you deal tremendous damage, supposed to have early game harassment, and just dealing tons of damage, using your ultimate to isolate your target, get the kill while you are in that nether realm, isolates you and from the enemy team. So you can do some pretty crazy stuff with Revenant. Once you get him down, you have to land your basics. He is high, you have to land your basics, like any carry, but especially Revenant. Here is the deck. Demolitionist, you can absolutely actually go for Tireless Reaper to help with your Scar or your Obliterate. In lane as Demolitionist, I mean, you're really not going to do much besides just help with the tower. Nitro Boost is fantastic. Gain 20% move speed for 3 seconds so you can chase people. Blitz Rush is also fantastic for Revenant, so you can just get somewhere more instantly, dodge things, dodge enemy attacks or spells, especially when you're dueling someone. Blitz Rush, you know what, honestly probably would be better than Nitro Boost in my opinion. Guard Piercer, absolutely mandatory on Revenant. 16 basic armor penetration works for his Hellfire rounds, the rest of his damage. It's really crazy. Overclock Droid is a okay option. It's just in there if you need that 20% move speed. I would just rather get Nitro Boost and something else. Veil Stepper is a option for that health regen. Could have probably gotten at this game. That would have been a smarter option for me, honestly. That's something I may have not have thought about. Veil Stepper, absolutely in this game especially, should have gone for. Heavy Hitter just increases basic damage by 15%. It's crazy. As a curve card into something else is very powerful. Wound Seeker, so you deal true damage to critically hit targets. I mean, the attack speed doesn't do much, so that's why I don't necessarily recommend using this versus anything else. For Revenant, he's pretty limited to just power, to be honest with you. Deathcrawler, absolutely mandatory. Don't get it too early, though. Don't have it as your only card. Make sure that you have Nitro Boost or Blitz Rush with something else. And then once you're in the high teens, low 20s, then go for Deathcrawler and something else. Vampiric Blade is an option. Like, we got it here because we didn't have a true sustain support. I wanted to be more self-reliant, so we got the lifesteal and the active, so you can win trades that otherwise wouldn't normally have. Yeah, crazy. Red Zone is just a crazy option in the extreme late game. We could have gotten it in this game. Maybe help us delete somebody. Red Zone plus Deathcrawler plus your Hellfire rounds once you prime it is pretty much a one-shot for somebody if you get close enough to them. It's nuts. It really is. We are having improved killing blows, ruthless so you deal more damage, lifesteal for more sustain, piercing basics so that that damage is realized, and critical hits so that deals even more, and that can stack on top of it and get multiplied by Deathcrawler, which is absolutely insane. Healing towers for more sustain, and that is it. Guys, let me know what you think about Revenant and this deck. He is a blast to play. Mirillus Action is a game and screen recorder that offers the lowest megabytes per frame, the lowest computer resource usage, and the highest FPS recording. Check the link in the video description to learn more. Please like this video if you like it, dislike it if you dislike it, share it with the community. Of course, guys, subscribe if you guys like this content, especially if you found it useful. Please subscribe so I can do it for you in the future. Check the video description for links to my website, merchandise store, Amazon affiliate link, and everything else, as well as all my social media here. Huge shout out to my Patreon supporters, YouTube sponsors, and Twitch subscribers. All go out of their way to make these videos possible and support me. Till next time, like always, guys, stay optimistic and positive.